What are the benefits to learning traditional animation? Should you learn traditional animation first before going into digital animation? Well, first let me talk about what traditional animation is quickly. Traditional animation is hand-drawn animation not done with a computer. So traditionally this will be done using a light box. You have light shining through a surface and you have paper on top of that, and through that you draw on top of it and you flick the pages. And this method is really good. It was used in most animations before the 2000 era. So if you think of anything before that, if you think of the classical Disney films, they were all done traditionally in this way. So traditional animation is a really good practice even today, and for me it's really simplified animation down to what I really needed to know without any additional parts involved which might not actually be that important. So a lot of the gadgets you get on these animation softwares are actually kind of arbitrary, and they take away from what you really need to know with animation, which are the fundamentals. But it is certainly not necessary to learn this method nowadays, especially with the arrival of software such as Flash interfaces, which kind of mimic the traditional method. So the downside to traditional animation these days is that it costs quite a lot to buy all the equipment needed to capture it. Previewing your animation is a much more time-consuming process as well. So for the equipment, in order to do this, you need to go through a lot of paper, you need a light box, and you need a camera rig set up, you need lights for the camera rig, you need a camera, preferably a DSLR camera, you need Dragon Frame software or an equivalent of the frame-by-frame software. I use Dragon Frame, so I would suggest that. So although it has all of these needs for it, and it might not be necessary, I must say that it is a lot of fun to do, and it's very satisfying when you get the results, because unlike in digital animation, you have to kind of hold off seeing your animation until you're able to put it through and preview it by taking the pictures of each of the frames. And so when you play it back, you suddenly see like a lot of hours of work all come together at once. And that's one of the parts of animation that I enjoy the most, is when I get to play back my animation for the first time. So my conclusion is that it is not necessary in this day and age to learn traditional animation first. However, it can be a great experience for those of you who want to push yourselves and not rely on digital animation tools such as tweening or the use of Ctrl-Z or Ctrl-Z, depending on where you're from. I hope this advice has helped some of you. Please subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Start exploring this. It opens up a lot of possibilities that weren't available before when you weren't trying this method. The people I admire, what they do in almost every frame. So I would say do some research, look for some of the animators that